Yeah, it took 17 hours. The live footage we started with got blocked, so this is part of that and the extra, so that way you guys can see how it actually went after we took down a lock or two. Starting out, he wanted to get his locks cut because he just was ready for a new style. He's had these locks for 9 years now, and we've been cutting them along the way because, as you know, you don't shed the hair in your locks, so your locks seem to be growing faster, but it's really that you're not shedding the hair. So we kept cutting them. So now we are going through and we pretty much cut them at a length where he could still have about close to mid back is what we were hoping for. But there was more breakage, as you guys saw from some of those clips in the beginning. So I left enough to cover his sides because he was growing his sides and stuff out too. So there's a lot going on at one time. So we made the best that we could with what we had. We went through, and to start off, I used a detangle jelly so that way I was able to comb through his locks easier and it didn't take us as much time, but it still took us a pretty long time. Just doing this top area, it took 17 hours, and it would have been a whole lot easier if, for one, his locks were a larger size, and two, if we wasn't trying to comb so much of it out and we were able to start with a shorter piece. But like I said, his goal was to have enough coverage for his sides. And as we all know, natural hair does have shrinkage. And his natural hair has a lot of shrinkage. So as you see here, how long those pieces are, yeah, they didn't look that long by the time that it dried up. It was literally just covering his edges. So I'm kind of happy that we did get the right amount that we needed. He was super excited to see how long it was. So this was our first piece that we showed live, and it was a lot. So you guys know my process as I am taking down hair. I only take down a couple at a time. I make sure I detangle, get it smooth, and then twist it up. I did the same process for the locks because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't causing any extra breakage to the hair because the cuticle is really damaged right now because it hasn't been able to be treated in years. So anytime you guys are taking down your locks, keep that in mind that you will need treatments pretty often so that way you can rebuild back up the health in the hair. So that's your protein treatments, your bond treatments, making sure you're doing your deep conditions to get your hydration and things in. So you're going to need more. So this is what we started with. Overall, to start, it wasn't as bad. To start off, I started with a bond treatment. This is the number 3 Olaplex. It's really good at taking care of the health on the inside of the hair. And the way that it's applied is doing it as if it is a pre-poo process. You want to make sure you dampen that hair down really, really good, and then use a small amount for the hair. So each little twist pretty much got a pea-size amount. So, well, not the whole twist, each half of the twist got about a pea-size amount. I soaked it down really good. Once I got the water in there really well, I went through with that pea size and I smoothed it from the roots all the way down to the ends. And you want to keep smoothing until you feel that it is smooth. Initially, when you start, you won't be able to feel the product in every spot of the hair. But as you continue to smooth, you are smoothing that product down the shaft of the hair, and you're making sure it's coating and getting in the areas that it needs to get. And after I did that, I always make sure I twist it right on back up. We are dealing with hair that is damaged, so that means more tangles, more matting, and all of that. Our curls become more defined the healthier the hair gets. It also becomes a lot more manageable the healthier the hair gets. So right now, we want to keep everything twisted so that way it stays detangled and we don't have any problems. I know my stylist friends are like dying on the inside right now because they know there's so much work to be done, and it's okay because I am able to watch it. I'm able to make sure that we have things done in enough time to make sure that the hair doesn't break off as badly as it can. So make sure you guys have a plan when you guys are taking down your locks so that way the hair doesn't eventually break off. It gets too weak and it will break off. Now it is time to wash. This is after the first wash, no treatments or anything done at this point. We wanted to see how it changed over time. This is after the protein treatment. You see how his curls came back where they like bounced all the way in and sprung all the way tight. However, since this is the first treatment, you see how much frizz is around the hair. That is going to calm down as the hair gets to a healthier state. In the beginning, if your hair is looking like super frizzy, that's normal because the cuticle is not smooth at this point. You have to go through and start really repairing the hair. It's not going to get completely done in one day. So we made sure that we worked on the inside, adding the bond treatments, which work on the inside of the hair. We did the protein treatment, which works on the outside of the hair to build him back some strength. Right now, I'm preparing the hair for a blowout and a press. So going through doing my leave-in and then following up with heat protectant and an oil on the scalp. Anytime that you guys are getting ready to do your blowouts and your presses, just make sure you guys are using the correct amount of heat as well, making sure you're doing whatever your precautions beforehand, your heat protectants, your leave-in conditioners, and of that sort. So that's what we did. And as usual, putting the hair back up. I always choose Bantus when I'm getting ready to do a blowout because the Bantu keeps a lot more of the water in the hair. If you want a smoother blowout, you want more water in the hair. So Bantu is always my preferred instead of a twist where it kind of dries out while you are working on another section. You don't know, let me inform you about tension blowouts. Tension blowouts are the best for natural hair, which means you are keeping the hair pulled taut as you are blow drying because you're going to be stretching the hair out, stretching those curls out. So when you let go, the hair doesn't bounce back on you. You want to do that before you grab your brushes, even if you are doing a comb attachment. You want to make sure you are blow drying first to get it stretched out because a lot of people be yanking and pulling and all of that. You're going to break the hair more. So doing a tension based blowout is perfect. So that way you can keep it stretched out and elongated. This is a perfect example for those people who use scissors and locks. You never want to cut any type of locks at the root anywhere if you are trying to demat locks. You see that piece that is super short. He got a lock that was snagged when he was playing, and that piece is now no longer as long as all the rest of his hair. So every time you cut someone's locks, you start them all over again when you are cutting those strands to even out their locks. So you never want to do that unless that person plans on cutting their locks and starting all over, not if they plan on combing them out in this case. A quick pro tip, if you guys are experiencing where your areas are poofy in the middle, things like that, just split your sections. Don't be afraid of doing a smaller section because they help so that way you can get a smoother blowout. I want to make sure I'm getting a good one here because when I go through and do the press, I want to be able to see every little hair that is broken, pieces that are frayed, all of that. So I need to be able to see as much to get all of that off of the hair. Now I'm about to go through and press his hair. I want to make sure I'm getting a decent sized press, but not too many super small parts. I really don't need all of that. I just need to be able to see areas that are sticking up, hairs that are fraying out, any split ends and stuff like that. We're going to be cutting a lot of hair here because this is a very first initial trim. So I want to be as precise as I can be during this time without damaging his hair and applying too much heat. So this is what we were left with. To me, I could have cut up a little bit more, but like I said, I was really thinking about how much it was going to shrink. And I'm going to be able to grow his hair where I'm able to keep up with it to take off about another 2 inches. So I'll be trimming as I go for a little while to make sure that I'm getting things off as it is growing in. So now I'm about to go through and do the trim on the inside of the hair. That's just a preliminary cut to make sure that I see the beginning shape. Then I'm going to go through and do all the inside cuts. Once I do the inside cuts, I go back in again and trim off any extras towards the tips of the hair that need to be evened out. So anytime you guys are getting trims, make sure that you're cutting on the inside and all of that. You're not just focusing on the outer part of your trim, because that's going to eventually look thin because you've only worked on the outside tips. You need those middle areas to make sure that they get cut and trimmed, so that way everything can grow out as even as it needs to. So after I went through and did that, I'm going to be doing smaller pieces to go down the shaft of the hair and check all of that out. So after finishing up the trim, it is time to see the shrinkage. So I went back through, wet it with some water, then went through with the leave-in conditioner. I applied a little bit of oil to my hands and then did the foam. It's a curl enhancing foam. And then I applied a gel. So these are the products that I used this time, so that way, just in case you guys liked it. But to me, I feel like the curls could have been a lot more defined, but they are going to change over time. So I'm kind of excited that we got the beginning part of this so we can see how his curls transform over these next couple months. So anytime that you guys are doing your curls and you notice that the ends look really good, but then the roots look super poofy, that is a sign that your roots are lacking the extra protein or moisture that it needs. So I am not expecting them to be perfect right now, just because of the fact, I mean, we just took down Locs. So this is pretty good to start with. I didn't even go through and do any shingling or anything like that, because honestly, I know it's going to be pointless because his hair is not healthy enough for everything to be super defined. So right now I just brushed the product through, let the Denman brush do its job on detangling and smoothing the hair down, and I just let it lay. The gel, honestly, we've done some other gels, and because like I said, this was about almost a week and a half ago now. So we've done some other gels, and I have some other ones to show you guys that I think turned out a whole lot better. So definitely stay up to date on this journey so that way you guys can see the other gels, because his hair, we haven't did any other treatments and we did a different gel, and I love the curls. So be looking out for that video so that way you guys can see how those came out. This one is the Aunt Jackie's. So it's an older one, but it's still a staple for healthier hair. If your hair is a lot more healthier and your roots are not poofy and things like that, the Aunt Jackie's elongating gel would be great for you. But since his hair is not as healthy, he's going to need a stronger holding gel so that way we can clump those curls together a lot better. Okay, y'all, so this was his finished result, and we did have enough to cover the sides. That was his main part, was like, it's gonna be able to cover the sides. So we did hit that part, and now we are on a search for a stronger gel that is going to define hair that is not completely healthy.